Well, Devin, are y'all kind of bracing yourselves for the atmosphere there at Tech? You know, Patrick Mahomes is going to be there to be honored and stuff. But what are y'all kind of looking for?
We talked about the atmosphere first thing, just everybody getting their heads right, make sure we all came, like, brought our energy because, like, we're all we got. Like, everybody's coming from Waco. There's nobody else. There's just going to be nothing but just people from Texas Tech at the game and us. So we got to bring our own energy and just get fired up and stay focused and keep our heads down.
Have you ever had a tortilla thrown at you before? And they throw tortillas down on the
Oh,
field.
I was watching the film and I was wondering what that was flying on the field. I thought that was like paper plates or something.
No, they like stuff tortillas down. And
They actually throw those on the field?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know it was a thing. That's interesting. No, never had a tortilla thrown at me.
What do you see from their offense?
They're a spread offense, heavy air raid team. They love to pass. They love to use number one. That's their main guy who they love to use. They have a pretty good offense. And we got to make sure we just keep things down like it's possible. Like, they're going to try to run the ball. They're going to try to beat us on the air. And the DB's got to step up. That's how I see it.
Devin, how rewarding was that? You talked about trying to stop the run. How rewarding was that against this last against Kansas, just being able to make them one-dimensional like that?
That was really great. That was a really great run performance we had. We haven't had that in a while, and we all talked about that as a whole as a defense, because it's all 11 guys. It's not just D line or DBs. Like, if one guy doesn't do their job, that's it. You can't have one mess up. All 11 have to do their job, and just having everybody execute and do their 111 is what we call it. It was really awesome to see that.
Devin, when there's a possibility that Tech could play 3 quarterbacks on Saturday, how do you address what one guy is good at versus another guy, and how you kind of have to defend it when you don't know who's going to be under center?
Really, the best thing I can say for that is film study. Like, you don't know who's going to be out there, what they're doing to the last second. You see a formation or what guy's out there. You're not going to know what you're getting into unless you watch film and get some sort of experience. And we just got to make sure we're all, like, together watching film, know whose strengths and weaknesses are.
Was there maybe a message or something that really was key for you guys in getting that defensive performance that you needed after, a month or so? A little bit of a struggle on that side of the ball.
Yeah, well, I said it earlier, and our message was just what Coach Roberts said. He said, do your 111. So what that means, like, deep down, like, for offense is like, no matter where you play football, you can have a mess up, you get another down. Defense, you have one mess up, DB has a bust, that's touchdown. You can't afford to mess up at all. You got to do your 111. All 11 men on the field have to do their job in order for defense to be effective.
Right. Is there something about a night game that is more challenging for you guys this year, or are you working on anything to prepare for playing at night again?
Not really the time of day. More so the atmosphere and what the game is to them. It's going to be blackout. Patrick Mahomes is going to be there. Everybody's going to be rowdy, hyped up. And we just got to just stay locked in, stay focused. Everybody has to execute. I know it's going to be tough for the offense because, like, the noise, you're trying to hear the cadence is just people, like, on your necks yelling. For defense, we just got to make sure we don't let them get any momentum. We got to keep it down. Don't let their tempo go. We just have to keep things under control.
Is that a noisemaker we heard walking in from the parking lot?
Yeah, it's a big speaker.
Yeah. How do you guys go about communication knowing that you might not be able to hear each other Saturday night?
Well, we got to throw in some hand signals. And the thing for defense, like, when their offense is going, they don't really make as much noise, the away team, so it's more, like, easier to hear. It's more so at home, really. It's harder to hear for our games, but we got to make sure we communicate, like, probably make it like a cone with their mouths to, like, get the voice going in their direction. It really helps.
What's better, a loud home crowd or sorry about that. Oh, no, wrong way. Sorry. My bad.
It's okay.
What's better, riling up a loud home crowd or silencing a loud away crowd?
I'd really say silencing an away crowd. And one memory that brings up from this season is Iowa State. It was initially really loud in the beginning of the game. You could feel the momentum. It was back and forth. And then just defense, like, doing what they had to do in offense, taking it away from them. Like, you could see people leaving the game. You didn't hear anything. It felt like practice. I'm like, this is a Tuesday practice. That's what we always saying. So, yeah, I like away games more, taking the energy away.
Devin, Matt Jones has been here a while. He's played a couple of different positions. What do you feel like he brings to the defense?
I feel like he brings knowledge and experience because I recall him playing the jack, if I'm wrong. He played the jack, he plays the wheel, and I feel like him being able to like bring the experience and tools that he used from one position to the other is really useful because like I don't know how to put it, like the more versatile a player is, the more like effective they can be. Like you can like know what's coming more. The way Petrie, he used to play linebacker, for example. When he was at Star, he knew what runs was coming. He could just play ahead.
Devin, the way, I mean, about 2.5 quarters, y'all played about as good as you can play on defense. Have you been able to look at film and see where the mistakes were? Are they fixable, that kind of thing?
Yeah, the mistakes.
What they did in the fourth quarter.
Really, yeah, the first half, we talked about it. Like, we played really good first half of defense. It's just second half, we got to, like, as a team, we have to play a whole four-quarter game. We can't just play half. We can't play second half because against really good teams, like the team we're about to play, like, this upcoming weekend, you can't just take a half off because we saw last game, we almost got caught up to. We can't afford to have any mistakes like that. And we're looking at that. It's more so just getting too comfortable. You can't really get too comfortable with any lead in any sport, no matter what it is. College, pros, you can't get too comfortable to lead. Man, I feel like we just got to keep stepping on their necks and keep going.
Cool.
Thanks, Devin.
Appreciate it.
Gavin, are you getting psyched up for that atmosphere? I guess y'all been kind of practicing
Yeah.
or kind of trying to replicate it.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
What have you heard about? Because obviously you guys played there 2 years ago, but it was
Yeah, yeah.
COVID, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
What have you heard about Lubbock and what is the challenge of it?
Yeah, I got friends that go there that have been talking smack to me already. Of course, you know, I got friends on that team, coaches on that team who I respect, who I had great relationships with while they were here. So, yeah, I mean, we know it's going to be a crazy atmosphere. Like, we know Blackout, Pat Mahomes is going to be there, all that stuff. But those are just distractions to us, essentially. So, you know, we're just going to go out there and play our game.
Have you heard about the tortillas?
Yeah, I mean, we see it on film. Like, we see them throwing them on film and stuff. So, like I said, another distraction. So, we'll be all right.
You said you just got to stay locked in, but how do you limit those, that outside noise going into a tough practice?
I mean, obviously we can't turn off the crowd. But like I said, we've been in atmospheres before, like BYU, Iowa State. But we just got to go out there and trust our training. We're bringing energy out here at practice. And we know when we go out there, it's only going to be us. Everybody else going to be wanting to take our heads off. So we're just preparing for that. We've got noise in practice, especially for the offense, and it's blaring right behind us. We're working on that right now.
Are there elements of the defense that look similar to things that you saw whenever you guys had to go up against, Joey Maguire, elements of defense, or is it a little bit different?
Yeah, I mean, they run a lot of just straight man coverage, man covers, a lot of blitzes, a lot of different things. So we're preparing for that. We haven't seen a lot of that this year. Maybe one or two teams we played have played heavy man, but the rest have been kind of drop 8 kind of coverages. So so we're excited. We're up for the challenge for sure.
You guys obviously played a really good first half against Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
How do you kind of keep that consistency?
Yeah, I think just coming out here and practicing hard every day. These past 2 games, like against West Virginia, we threw the ball for a lot of yards, didn't run it as well as we wanted to. But this past week, we ran it for a lot of yards and didn't throw it as well as we wanted to. So we've just been preaching, putting that together, that run, pass, balance, and I think we can be an extremely dangerous offense. So that's the goal for this week, to just put it all together and go out there and perform. So
When you've been rolling in certain aspects, you mentioned Kansas and West Virginia, what are those elements that have been going right for you guys as a unit?
Yeah, I think, like I said, just working in the run game, just perimeter blocking, the pass game, just, play action, just throwing and catching, just doing our base stuff. I think that's we have the right game plans. The coaches are going to put us in the right position. So I think it's just going out there, doing what we do and running our base plays and executing them at a high level.
Obviously, it didn't end in a win, but for you individually, that West Virginia game, I mean, how gratifying was that for you? The culmination of all, I'm sure, the work you put in to not only get healthy, but to get up to the level that you are right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was great, but honestly, I would much rather have gotten the win. You know, so that was obviously extremely disappointing. But we got the win. We bounced back, got the win this past week. So we're just looking to move forward and keep that momentum going.
Coach Arena talked about how last week's week of practice was one of the best he's seen since he's been at Baylor. Have you guys kind of carried that into this week and sort of maybe made some shifts in energy around here? Or?
Yeah, I think, like Coach said, last week was a great week of practice. So we know what we have to do in practice to achieve that. And I think we've just been preaching that. Started yesterday. Thought we had great practice, great energy at practice yesterday. And today I thought we had great energy too. So it's just a matter of stacking those days and being consistent.
How much easier is it to work on things that went wrong on the previous Saturday coming out of a win versus coming out of a loss?
Yeah, I think there's more optimism, I think, and everybody's like, yes. I think even in the loss, you know, against West Virginia, especially as an offense, you know, we were encouraged by how we played. And there's always, whether you win or lose, there's always good things and there's always bad things. And so I think just being able to identify those, to identify the bad even when we win, and to come out here and work on it and execute it, I think that's extremely important in moving forward throughout the season. So.
At what point did you and Blake really get on like the same page in terms of y'all's connection on the field?
Yeah, I think, man, that started and as soon as we knew Blake was going to be the starter, man, we just started working. When we were back home in Dallas or whatever, we'd link up. So we'd always spend a lot of time together, just to kind of try to build that connection off the field, because we knew that would kind of translate to on the field, and just getting the extra work, you know, and yeah, so it's showing right now.
Gavin, Blake's had a few turnovers last couple of games. Is he good about just kind of putting that behind him, erasing it, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, Blake's yeah, and I think, you know, we preach, you know, especially in the offensive meeting room, there's going to be mistakes. Like, guys are going to mess up. That's a part of the game. It's just a matter of rallying together, being a team and coming together and growing stronger in those situations. And I think, you know, when you have guys around you who lift you up and support you, you know, through everything, I think it's easier to move on from those things. And yeah, so Blake, you know, we rally around Blake no matter what. So I think.
Did they rally around you? I'm thinking back to the Oakland State game.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
No, yeah, for sure. You know, obviously the coaches, obviously I took a lot of that, you know, to heart. I was pretty disappointed after that game, but, you know, like I said, I got great teammates and coaches around me. And they told me, you know, that they still believed in me. Like, they didn't flinch. You know, I just had a bad game. And then came out next week and bounced back. And so that's why I've always told myself, just, you know, keep going. There's going to be adversity. There's always going to be things. So just keep going. So, yeah.
What's been most impressive to you about some of these young guys, especially the ones who have made an impact, picked up yards, gotten this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a testament to the work that they put in. You know, it's really cool to see guys like Richard Reese, Hal, Presley, Josh Cameron, Monterey. They're all young guys, but they're all, if you see them play, you wouldn't think that. And I think, like I said, that's just a testament to the work that we put in the off season. Even when we just got free time, you know, we're always together. We're always hanging out and getting into work when we can. So.
And one more question, sorry. When Jordan scored that touchdown
Oh,
in the
yeah.
end around,
Yeah.
he ran, and
Yeah.
Coach Baker, like, I don't know if I've ever seen a guy like jump on him.
Yeah.
Like, what is y'all's connection like with him, and what makes it so special, and to the point where he's reacting like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that, because a lot of people can see that, you know, like, that's my dog. I love Coach Baker so much, man. He's been a father figure to me out here, to all of us, you know, and he's brought this room, like, this is the closest receiver room I've been a part of, and I've been here 6 years. I've had 4 different receiver coaches. And so this is by far the closest room I've ever been a part of. And I think it's just a testament to him. You know, he just preaches unity. And yeah, we talk football, but it's more about life with him. And so you can see that when he celebrates with us and stuff, that he's genuinely happy for us and he genuinely cares. And it's so easy to play confident for a coach like that. And so I think that's just helped us out a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Gavin.
it.
Appreciate y'all.
Gavin.
Thank you.
Have a good one.